Uh, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna simply just redo the intro, I think. So hi, I'm Godo, and I would like to welcome everybody that is present or not to my stream, my game dev fruit survival part 2. It's not part 2 because it's the second stream, it's just the second stream of the week. And as I mentioned in my first stream of the week, the only streams I'm really expecting people to show up at are the stream of the week. They're the only ones that I will advertise in advance. So any progress that was made outside of a stream of the week was made during a stream, just a casual, on the spot stream that I made whenever I had time. So you can see those as well on my channel if you would like to. So you can just go in my Fruit Survival playlist and you will see the stream, the game dev part 1.1. Part 1.1 is the stream that I did yesterday, and it's basically a follow-up on the first stream. I tested a couple of things, including the music, which is why I'm saying I thought it was a little too loud on the last stream. So not the part 1, but on part 1.1. I did test the music. Because, in part 1, I thought it was a little boring when I was just thinking and figuring stuff out. And there was no music, I wasn't speaking, nothing was happening really. It was kind of boring. Music really helps on that. I really think that yesterday's stream, when I rewatched it later, part of it, it was much more interesting, I think, than the part 1. So I'll keep putting music going forward. I will. Oh, I haven't opened it. So I have a stream playlist here, which is a playlist where I'm putting all of the music that I'm playing on stream. So what I do, I just randomize it. I do the shuffle play, right? So you can see here. Oh, is it not? Is it not? Shuffle is on. Yes. Okay. I guess when I clicked shuffle play, it only started a song, a random song, but okay. I really want to shuffle the playlist. So, yep. There's 49 songs so far. I may remove some of them a little bit, and I will probably add some if, I take some time off stream to try to find more free music. Because I can't just try music on stream, because if I happen to listen to a song that is not free, I could get copyright striked, which I do not want. So yeah, I might add songs as they go, but if you like what you hear, as far as background music goes, just go on the stream playlist. It's publicly available on my account. So yeah, you can just check out my channel and my created playlists, and yep, right here. So I just wanted to show you this because, yep, it's the first time I'm using the music on a stream of the week. I mean, it's only my second one, but still. So, that being said, I did a little bit of work on the game yesterday. So I will show you what it looks like, and then I will explain what I did, how I will ameliorate it, and everything. So, here you can see that there are now lines. So if you remember from the first stream of the week, we had a lot of technical problems, including persistent bugs in Unity. Right now I have a cloud thing. It wants a cloud ID. I don't really care about that, so it's not a real error as far as I'm concerned, and it doesn't break anything, unlike the errors I had last time. So I'm just gonna show you the preferences. Last time, if you remember here, there was only like 2 or 3 checkboxes, so a couple of them lacked, and it's because my username on like the Windows user I'm currently using, right now it's called Godo's Coding, all in okay, I can just open Notepad and show you guys what I mean. So I'm just gonna no, not open anything. I just want a new one. So it used to be, I'm gonna zoom a little bit, it used to be written like this. Godo's code, or something like that. Now, right, I forgot to make a transition, so you guys cannot see at all what I'm talking about. Kind of a failure. Okay, so it used to be written like this, right? That was the username. Now, I changed it to Godo's coding, like this. So the apostrophe here, maybe the space didn't help, but I think the real problem was the apostrophe here. It would just break the path, at least for Unity, right? So, I don't know, maybe it, because when you're using a path, you can put it in parentheses, you know, so like C, I don't know, backslash, you know, username and backslash blah 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 blah, right? And just everything you need. So maybe it used actually single quotes, and that's why when there's an apostrophe it would break it, because it would consider this a string and then this just something else. So, you know, possibly the problem, not quite sure. Now this is this, so no problem. The thing is, to change it I had to go on a different user, so just my main account on this computer. I had to go in the control panel and then change the name of the user, but not only this, because in Windows you can edit the registry in the registry editor, and registry is basically just a place where a bunch of information about everything is written, right? So if I went on what, HKey local machine, I think, then like software, and then I don't even remember. There was a there was a place where there was a registry with, you know, all of the usernames written. So if you go in that registry and change the new username to what you changed it to in the control panel, and also while on the other account I also had to change the folder name. So here if I go in Godo's coding right now, it's my user folder. So in users it's now actually called, you know, Godo's coding without apostrophe. I also had to change that. So, you know, change the username in control panel, change the actual folder using you know, administrator rights, and also change the registry. That's all I had to do. If you Google it real quick, like how to change you know, a username in Windows using registry or something like that, you're gonna be able to find it pretty easily, I think. So that's cool. Okay, so what I was saying before I was sharing my screen is I had errors that would prevent a bunch of these checkboxes to appear. I think it's just a bunch of Unity packages failed to load. You know, now it's fixed. And while I fixed this, oh yeah, that's what I was trying to show. And while I fixed this, I can show you, if I open the C# project, it has also fixed the IntelliSense problem that I had in Visual Studio. So now, if you just wait for a second, you can see Vector3, which is a Unity engine structure. It's now showing correctly, right? Like it's highlighted as it should be and everything. Awesome. Gotta love this. Okay, that being said, I was trying to show you something and I had forgotten to actually show my screen. So this is what's happening. Right now, I am putting a bunch of lines. So, what I did is I found a thing called a, right here, a line renderer. Okay, so it's made to, you know, draw lines in 3D space, right? So it's a line renderer. The way I had to do this is get component on a line renderer. So the map here, if I go in the scene, if I go in the scene on the map, I now have a line renderer object. Well, component. So the line renderer component is what I'm getting here, boom, in the start, so that I can start using it. So I save it, and then I can set the position count as well as all the positions by which the line passes through, and then the thickness and a color. At the end, you know, the color can go from a certain color to another, right? But I'm just keeping it consistent, just black lines, consistent thickness, everything like that. And yeah, the alignment is actually just making sure that the line is facing towards the camera so that I can see it correctly, right, at all times. I don't, because I kind of want to use it as a, like the view is, it's not going to turn around the line, right? I just want the line to be visible at all times, and that's it. Which is why the alignment is view. It just, yeah, line faces the camera. That's the comment. So that's what I did. Quite simple. It took some time to check the documentation and everything to make that work, but it works. Now, I would like to keep working on this, but in a way that will make it useful for real. Because right now what it does is just, it takes like this point, the first point of the, you know, of the start, then the second line of I say line, it takes the first node in the first row, the first node in the second row, in the fourth and fifth row, and it just ignores the middle row. This is just me trying stuff, right? I just pretty much hard-coded, get exactly these nodes and everything. Now, today, we're gonna try to make a path that is at least somewhat intelligent. So we're gonna go do that with some steps, right? The first step is gonna be, I'm just gonna make sure that, you know, nodes go to every node from the next row, the very next row. And I'm gonna do that for every single node. That's gonna be the first step. Of course, I don't necessarily want that to be well, in this case, I think that's what I would want. But in other cases, like right here, yeah, good example. Here, I would want probably to have like lines like these, right? Just kind of like a diamond, and maybe some nodes could go to others, but I probably never want a node to go to, like, basically, okay, when the paths are being drawn, I'm not going to want them to cross, right? I don't want paths to cross, except if they go through the same node. But the paths that are between nodes, I don't want them to cross. So for example, here, if I were to just connect everything to the next row, I would have a couple of X's in these places. And these X's, I don't want them to happen. So I'm gonna eventually need some kind of algorithm that can determine where it's supposed to go, where it's not supposed to go, etc. Okay, the volume is very loud in my ears, so I'm gonna lower it. And I hope it doesn't make it too low for you guys. I hope that it makes it okay. I don't exactly know. I'm just gonna go check for a quick second what it does, just to make sure it's fine, and I'm gonna keep going right after I've checked this. Okay, so from what I'm seeing, it seems to be fine for you guys. I don't even know if it changed the volume for you. Maybe OBS just takes the full desktop volume and checks its own volume setting or something. So maybe when I change the desktop volume, it has no effect, perhaps? I'm not quite sure. The volume seems to be fine on stream, that's all I need to know. So, now that I've explained what I want to do with my lines, I'm gonna do the first step. First step, I don't care about lines crossing or anything, I just want multiple lines. And right now it's just one line. From what I'm reading, line renderers can only render one line, right? So it can go through a bunch of points, you know, it can even curve, I think, but that's not what I want. What I want is to really have a different line between every, you know, pair of nodes that are connected by a path. So I'm gonna start by doing that, okay? And what I'm gonna do right now is, it's really cool to have a line renderer here, but I'm gonna remove it, okay? I'm gonna remove that component completely, which is going to make part of my code, yeah, okay, exactly. So, which is going to make part of my code completely useless. That is to say, here I'm keeping a very precise line renderer. I'm gonna remove you. As well, I'm not gonna get any component. I am, though, in this function here, I'm actually going to be creating a new line renderer. So, I'm gonna keep everything as is for now. I'm just gonna try to create a new line renderer. So, example, line renderer LR will be equal to this dot entity, these are pair, this dot, I don't know, right? This dot create component. If I go component, add component, exactly. I want to add a component that is a line renderer. Thank you so much. Right? Okay. Will this work? So the behavior should be exactly the same that I had just a second ago, except that now I've created the line renderer. Use, oh wow. Right, because I am not setting any material for it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to add dot set material or add material or dot materials dot material, yeah, dot material will be equal to, how do I get a material? That's a good question. I think I'll have to check the doc for that. The documentation. So, I don't know, material, not create, or something. How do I create a new material? Render queue. No, not shader. I really want the. Yeah, I don't know. What if I say Unity create material, or get asset material by code or something? Load material from assets. Yeah, okay, that's what I want. My assets folder. Okay, best answer. You need to put your material in a parent folder named resource like this. Sure, you have a material. Resources.load. And it should be a material. Something along those lines. Okay, let's see. So it's gonna be something like that. Okay, so that's great. As material, thank you very much. type of, I think it's gonna be sprite, honestly, so it's .png, and it's not material, it's gonna be, how's it called? I think it's sprite slash default is the one that I wanted. And I said .png, but I think they created a real Unity asset out of it. So if I go like this, does it work? It could. I don't know. Who knows? It's reloading the assemblies. Fine. Okay. Does it work? Doesn't seem to be working. Did I get an error message or? Because if I go in project here, oh, did I say sprite instead of sprites? Yes. Okay, that might be the mistake. Let's try yet again. It's yes, I understand you're reloading the thing. Okay, let's go. Nope. I don't think it's working. So here, if I go here, default, just default, right? It's a sprite. Oh, okay, they make everything use, well, at least start with a capitalized letter, right? That's what it seems like. So I guess default sprite. Maybe if I go like this. And the last thing I'm gonna try is to add .png on that one. It might fix the thing. If not, I'll try to see the duck maybe. Okay, it didn't work. So I'm gonna go with a PNG. PNG, and because, yeah, I don't know, either this or the other one. I'm gonna try both of them. No. I guess I can try something. Here if I, no, not console, but debug.log, and I just try to get something like resources dot this. I don't know, type of sprite or something. Something like that? I don't know if it's gonna like return anything valuable, but we shall see. Now, what did you print? Okay. Sprite array, yeah, okay, but then again, like, what's in the array? Is it empty? Okay, instead of just logging this, what if I get it and save it somewhere? Like, is there the auto keyword in this? No, so it's equal this. What if I do like var? Yeah, okay, var list or sprites or something. Yeah, it exists. That's great. And instead of this, I'm just gonna loop. I'm gonna do maybe like sprites dot for each. No, okay, no, not at all. Okay. Oh, it's not dot for each. That's a JavaScript thing. For each? No, it's in the same thing. Okay, wait. For each, yeah, for each. Exactly. So it's gonna be like var s from sprites. Oh, is it in? Yeah, I think it's the keyword in that I need to use. Right. Exactly. Ah, programming languages. They're all the same and yet not exactly. S dot name or something. Sure, it exists. Nice. Feels good. See, I love IntelliSense. You don't even need to know that something exists to code it. Okay, what's up with that? Mapishi node. That's great. Map background and map node. Right. What happened to default? Right. Your texture 2D, your texture 2D, a single thing. I do not get what's different about it. Very strange. Okay, the spawn node comment is not necessary for me, so bye bye. When I click it, it's fine, but yeah, thank you very much. Much simpler now. Oh yeah, I wanted to randomize something. That's funny. I might do this eventually so that the rows are not quite as clean. So, right, why is it not getting this sprite here, the default sprite? Because it is one, it's a sprite, it definitely is. So I do not get what's happening with it. So if I run this again, where's the console gonna be? You know? I just... Oh no, default is there, right? So default is a thing, right? Is the third one. So now, the question is... Okay, if I log lr.material.name, yeah, stop this. Please play again. Oh. Whoa. Okay. That's weird. Debug material instance. Okay, no, this is not what I want. I think the problem here is that this is a sprite. So, because I know for a fact that in the line renderer in the editor, I could just drag and drop the sprite as the material. But it probably created internally a new material out of that sprite. And this, it is not a material. So just getting it as a material probably doesn't work. I probably have to do like new material and give it the asset to make the material out of. That's probably what's happening. But I do want to see if this is a real thing. So this, I'm gonna get, and I'm gonna say .name. And I just want to check if at least it is valid, because if the problem is the path here, yeah, I'd better know real quick. It's gonna make things much simpler for me. If I can make sure that it works. So, it doesn't seem to be an instance of anything. So if I check here, line 61, this is not something. Oh right, because I tried the PNG thing. So if I go like this, it might be better. So yeah, I'm gonna stub this one. Here. Okay. But this. Okay, let's try it. Please work. Please work. It doesn't work. Okay, the last one. The real name. Except, you know, well, just the real name, right? Because last time there was a .png. It was with a capital D, and the asset does not contain a capital D. So no, it is not set to a reference of an object. Okay, well, it's weird that it doesn't work. So that might be my problem. It's in sprites, and it's called default, right? Oh no, I don't want to open it, just stop. What if I go in properties? What if I want the path? Can I get a... oh, assets? Oh, is that because of it? Do I have to write assets / sprites / default.png? Or like /? Maybe? Okay, I saved it. And we're gonna see if it works in a second. Line 61, it still doesn't work. So maybe not /, maybe assets then? Oh, it says resources. But if I check here, it does say you need in a parent folder name resource like this, resources /. So it's not in resources. That might be the problem here. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I just misunderstood the answer that the guy gave. So here, instead of resources.load, what if I just do assets.load? Huh? No, no, it doesn't work. Assets. Can I get assets? Okay, what if I just go load? Huh? Nope. Assets. No, why not? Then Unity is aware. Okay, sure, but well, look. I'm thinking that it's kind of a waste of time because I can simply have a material as a public variable or a serialized field, probably actually. So here, yeah, right here, right, private. It's not a game object here. It's going to be a material. Thank you very much. And it's going to be called path mat, and it will not be equal to anything, and I will set it in the editor. So here, very simple. No, path mat. Thank you so much. So here, boom. Oh, by the way, position count is always going to be 2. Going forward, so here, thickness, color, that's great. View, always great. Awesome. So here I'm just setting a material with the properties I want. So it's cool, I can find all of the resources. Wait. If resources.find. Wait, something's weird. Because resources, when I find all objects of certain type, it does find, my assets. S.path or something? Descriptor, maybe? What's a descriptor? Okay, no, S dot. Dot describe, yeah. Okay, never mind. Well, if I really need it one day, I'll find it. But for now, I just create a new line renderer. I added, I give it some random material that I'm going to set right now in the editor. In the map thing. Yes, no material. Please help me select the material. Right here, sprites default. Thank you so much. Okay, so that should work now. That's great. It's amazing. Okay, the cloud project, I'm just gonna look it up online because it's kind of annoying. I just don't like when I see error messages popping up in my face all the time. So I'm gonna get rid of it once and for all. After following these. Okay, the page is missing, nice. Okay, what do you say? Please make sure to link your cloud project in the Unity editor to fix this project. What cloud project? What Unity editor? At least this line works, which is nice. So where is the thing? I think I know what it's about. I don't think it's about this here project. I'm not sure at least. Please make sure to link your cloud project in the Unity editor. Well, I mean, it doesn't do anything, so I'll leave it here for now, and I probably will try to fix it off stream, because quite frankly, you guys don't need to be bothered by this. It might be a leftover from when I had problems with my path or anything like that, but yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the project, so let's just leave it aside for now. So it works. Here I'm getting some positions, I'm doing something. Okay, so now, here, like, you know, getting a point, getting a second point and everything. Yeah, I'll do a naive approach, which is going to be a double for loop. So the first 4 loops is just going to iterate through, well, all of the nodes, really. So it's actually going to be a triple loop or something. But I guess the first 2 layers of loops are just going to loop through all of the nodes, right? But, you know, since it's a 2D array, I need 2 for loops to iterate through. And the other one, the final loop, is just going to iterate through all of the nodes that are going to be linked to the current node, right? So let's make it very simple. Okay, I have I for the first loop. So as long as I is shorter than n rows, I guess. Well, I can go simpler. So nodes is just shorter than nodes. Dot size or length? No, that count. Ah, that's better. I like that, actually, that it's called count, because size is usually used to say how much space in memory a variable or array or anything uses. So I like that they use count for the amount of elements instead of size, unlike in other languages. And length is like a Java thing, I think. I don't know about length. Length makes you think about like a, you know, an actual real life like measurement, right? So count is better. It's literally the amount of things there are. So here I'm gonna go do nodes at I.count ++ j. Thank you so much. So here I'm just iterating through every single node, right? One row at a time, every node in the row. Once this happens, I'm going to do another for loop, which is going to be using k equals 0, as long as k is smaller than nodes, position I plus 1, I think. Oh, so it's not dot count minus 1, yeah? Yeah, because I'm not going to do the last row, because the last row doesn't go anywhere, so it doesn't need to, you know, create paths or anything like that. ++ k, thank you so much. I said ++, thank you very much. Dot count, yeah. So I'm iterating through all of the nodes, and every time I'm in any node, the next row, I'm just going to check all of the nodes and make a link to them, right? So here, when I'm in a node, I'm going to say vector 3, thank you so much, which is going to be p1, right? So it's going to be equal to nodes at a certain position, more precisely from ij, this is the position, and I'm going to get dot transform dot position. Okay, kind of here, right? I'm getting this, but I'm iterating through and getting them all. All right, and here I remove these. So this is P1. This is how I get my first point. And then I'm going to do pretty much the same thing that I just did here. Hey, there's no more music. Why is that so? Oh. Yes. Why was it paused? Okay, I don't know. I'm going to keep going. So, P2, second point, is going to be at I plus 1, as we know. K, right? So every note in this place for the row that is next, right? For the next row. So now that I have both of my points, for each of these, I can render my lines right here, right? Isn't that awesome? So that should work, I think. I really think so. So we're gonna try this out and see if it works. Please work. Oh, why? Do you not add a component? Script 60? Why is this not working? Did I not add the thing? Did it break in some kind of way? No, it's fine. And the note prefab and everything. By the way, I don't need this note here. It's a prefab, so I'm gonna save the scene real quick. Why is it not working? Okay, I'm gonna be very simple here. Whoops, this. Okay, it's gonna be the debug material, the default one. I don't care. I just want to see my lines. That's really what I want. Okay, there's another problem. Oh, LR is unidentified. Okay, maybe there's a problem in adding multiple components of the same type on one object. I'll try this. If I have a line renderer here, can I add a new line renderer? The component line renderer can be added to map because map already contains the same component. You have to be kidding me, right? Okay. Okay. I see. Quite annoying. But I can control N, I guess. No, it's not control N. How do I make a new child? Right? Create empty. How do I create empty? I don't know. I'm just gonna reset this here. The transform. The game object is gonna be called path, I think. And I'm gonna add a line renderer. Thank you so much. And this line renderer is already going to contain a material, which is going to be this one. And I'm going to make this probably a prefab. Oh, can I already change the color? Yo, I can. That's great. I won't even have to change the color in the code. That's so good. So what am I doing in the code for this? Thickness, color. So now I don't need color anymore here, right? Color is useless. Thickness, I may need, I don't know. Can I change it in the editor so I don't have to change it anywhere else? Seize view stretch. Okay. This is all cool and lightning. No, I don't want it to use any lighting of any kind. Width is 1. So I used 0.2, right? Can I just, no, not like this. It's just 0.2 everywhere. Oh, right. Oh, that's great, actually. No, remove this. Delete key, thank you so much. So yeah, 0.2, that's great. Right. Okay, I won't have to change the size because the default size is 2 anyways. I don't have to put the material on. This is not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the line render differently. Set position. Okay, thickness I don't have anymore. And align alignment. Can I see the alignment here? View. Oh, it's by default. Okay, that's great. Oh, here. So I don't have to do this. All that I have to do is really this. But the line renderer, since it's going to be an object, well, I'm going to make it be very simple for now. So if I instantiate it, no, that's good. I'm gonna give it from the other thing. So now I have a prefab here for node, and I'm just gonna add one for the path. Very simple prefab. So I can just delete this. I can do a map. Yeah, why is it like this? Is it the color? Right. I don't want blind, I want fixed. Thank you so much. Yeah, why don't you... Oh, right. Okay, yeah. No, like this. Thank you so much. I just want a black line. That's great. Okay. Now I'm gonna want to... yes. So instead of having a material here, it's gonna be a game object, which is gonna be a prefab as well, but it's gonna be the path prefab. Thank you so much. And the path thickness, I don't need it anymore. So node comes first, so I'll just keep the code ordered correctly. So node first, all of the nodes, and then this. And path prefab. Great. So now that I have a path here, this is what I'm going to be instantiating here, right? So this is going to be something else. So first off, I'm going to be instantiating this, right? So I'm going to do right. So I'm going to do game object. I don't know, like new path or something, or just path, doesn't matter, equals to instantiate. Yeah, thank you so much. And what I'm going to instantiate is going to be path prefab. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna, can I just instantiate this as game object or something? And then that's it. I say as game object, but it is a game object, really. It just is. Just like the other prefab, I think. Yeah, equals null. I don't need equals null, it's fine. Here, yeah, I say as game object. No, I didn't say as game object. Okay, cool. So if I just instantiate this. Oh yeah, because here I wanted the position and everything. I see. That's why I needed the quaternion. But here, I don't care about the position, because only the line renderer matters here. So the line renderer is actually going to be not this.add component, it's going to be path.get component, right? Line renderer, exactly. And once I have my line renderer, I can just set the positions, and that should be all I need, right? Okay. So it should make a bunch of game objects appear as I make the paths and everything. I think that this is going to be a functioning solution, and we shall see that right now. Let's go. I hope it works. Come on. And it does not work. Has not been assigned. Oh, I didn't. Okay, yeah, my bad. That explains a lot. Right here, thank you so much. Come on. Oh, and it's functional, that's cool. Hey, that's a full map. man, that's cool. Yeah, I like this. Oh boy, okay, see, that's that's what I was talking about. This, you can see a bunch of paths that are just crossing. You know, they're just crossing each other. This is why now the next thing we're gonna do is make sure that this doesn't happen anymore, because it is horrendous, quite frankly. This is not a map. It looks like some kind of pentagram or some kind. Yeah, no, I don't want this. So now we are going to change that. Yeah, so here I'm just literally going for every single one of them, but it shouldn't be what I do. I'm gonna make a new function, which is gonna be private as well, and is gonna be I don't think it needs to be a new function, but here I'm gonna get the count for this, right? So here I'm gonna get the count and I'm gonna keep it. Okay, so int well, I don't know, not necessarily. I think I should just be able to have a formula to see which ones I'm going to, right? So, how do we do this? Well, quite frankly, if I say var connect to will be equal to this, and this is going to be like, I don't know, false, false, and false. I don't know, var array connect. Okay, it's ridiculous. It's going to be a Boolean array. And instead I can just go for, you know, it could just be hard-coded really. I just want to make something that works for now. So it's gonna depend on how many like variables are there. So I'm just gonna make a little place that I can just put on some things. So there's two inputs kind of. So you have number of nodes in I, so in row I, or in row, let's just say it like that, and you have the number of nodes in row plus one, right? So in the next row. Those are basically the two parameters that I have. You know, I have access to both of these information, and according to that, I would like to know what nodes I have access to. And I would like to return, yeah, let's go like this. So nodes to connect to. So quick example, if I have, you know, if I input 1 and I output 1, I have this. Well, no, if I have 1, 1, I'm gonna output 1, right? So if I have like 2 and 1, well, you know, so basically if it's 1 here, I'm always going to be putting 1 only, and if it's 1 here, I'm going to add, you know, the whole list. So here I'm going to go true or false, okay, and here there's going to be a condition. So if nodes I dot count, right? So if nodes I.count equals 1, it's true always. Here. Okay, this is true. In fact, they're all true if that condition is true. Okay? But this is also true that or if nodes at I plus 1 dot count, I'm going to be accessing those counts an awful lot. So I think that I go here. Is that the count like this? No. Because here I'm accessing it too, so I guess what I'm doing right now is nodes at I dot count will be no, it's the other way around. Row count, which is an int, thank you so much, like this, plus 1. So I'm gonna go like next row count. Here's gonna be row count while I'm at it. Okay, so now if row count is 1, or next row count goes to 1, right? So if any of these is 1, yeah, you're going to 1, no matter who you are. Because if there's only 1 in the current row, it's going everywhere, right? So it's going everywhere again, which I should make clear here, like this. But also if there's only one node to go to, literally everything is going there, right? Yeah. Now, it just feels like I should have I feel like there's going to be so many conditions. There's probably a mathematical formula that does it. Okay, I'm just going to open paint.net, draw it, and find the formula for it. Because I don't want to just hardcode it. Okay, I'm just going to resize the image to be like, I don't know, like 100 by 100. Okay, I just need a quick sketch. So, no, I want to draw stuff. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna draw, please, shapes like this. So, first case, this to this, this, and this, or something. Wait, no. So there's this, and there's this case, and there's this case. Then there's also this case right here. Then there's this case right here. 1, 2, and 3. And there's 3 to 3, yeah. this is the way that I'm making it. Yup. Okay, so here I've drawn all cases, so I can just separate them in a clearer fashion. So if I go here, something like that. Okay, I think that's all the cases. Technically, there's like a duplication for this case here, this one, and this one, where you just inverse, like, so instead of like going, let's say 1 to 2, it's 2 to 1 or something, like 2 here and 1 here, but essentially it's the same thing, right? I do think that the algorithm should be able to calculate it either way, right? I think, because if I can calculate this, I should be able to calculate the inverse of that pretty easily. I don't know how easily it is to tell the code to do that, but we'll see. So, yeah, that's because when you have the same number of nodes, okay, you just have to make sure that if this is the first node, it goes to the first node, basically. So one condition that I could add to this is, just go to the node in front of you, right? But I was thinking about that earlier before the stream, and I do think that it's kind of the whole point of the algorithm to always go to the one in front of you. You know what I mean? Like, not just from a human perspective, but even mathematically, if you go with like what fraction you are in your row, you are going to the same fraction in the next row. It's just that when it's an equal split, you go in, in both directions, right? You know what I mean? So it's hard to say, but basically, like here, right? If you're the first out of 2, you're like, how do you say that? Like, basically, if you go to 1, always to 1, the mathematical fraction of your row that you are is always, at the end of the day, going to be like up to 1, right? Kind of. Well, I mean, technically this one, if it's the second out of 2, it's gonna be 2 out of 2. It's kind of weird, but, and here it's 3 out of 3. So yeah, I don't know what to do with that, but maybe you say there are 3 of them and you're the second one out of 3, right? So maybe something like that. I don't know. So what I would say it is you take the current I, or the current, like, not the I but the J, I guess, right? It's J for these. So to see if you connect to something, you check your fraction. So it's J divided by row count. That's the fraction they are, So I can just make a float out of it, and a float out of it, and I can just assign it to a float, which is going to be fraction. It's the fraction you are of your thing. Okay, so this one here is going to be 1. Well, no, it's going to be 0. So it goes to the index 0. So those are also going to be 0, going to index 0, those also to go there, and your fraction of your thing. But when you have multiple ones, like in this case, yes, you're a fraction of your own thing, but it's like literally this here, it's always going to be 0. So you need to do something else, like multiply it by the next row count, right? Something along those lines. So here, if you have times 2, right? This is literally 0 out of 2, so it's just 0. And multiply by the other thing, it's still 0. So it goes to the 0 index. This one here, it's the index 1 out of 2, so it's like 0.5. But how many in that count? That's right, 2. 0.5 times 2, 1. It goes to index 1. So that seems to work in this case, as well as all of these. I don't know if it works for the reverse of these. I'll just think about it later. Here, if you go with the fraction that you are, okay, yeah, that's when it's gonna get touchy, right? Because this one is 0. Fine, you go to 0. That's great. This one though is gonna be tougher. I'm gonna check for this one first though, because this one just goes to one place, so it might be easier, right? So here is the index 2, right? 0, 1, 2. Out of a count of 3. So it's 2/3 would be the formula, and the count up here is going to be 2. 2/3 times 2 means 4/3, which is like 1.333, I think. So if you make an int out of it, right, an integer, you just floor it, you get 1. That's great. This here is going to be 1 out of 3, so 1/3 times 2, that's 2/3. Yeah, okay, but 2/3, it is smack in the middle of these. Well, it's not smack in the middle, but it's in the middle, right? So, yeah, that's kind of awkward. How do you determine that it needs to go to 2 things, right? Because it would just go to the 0, right? If I floored this one, the way I would floor another one, it would just go there. You have 2 going there and only 1 going here. And it's not necessarily such a bad thing. It's just not quite what I was trying to do. But it wouldn't cross paths. So I can kind of try it, right? What if I did just try it? Oh yeah, but that... yeah, it doesn't make much sense. Because if I can't make this work, when you reverse it, right? Like the example where you're going to something that has more nodes than you personally have, it just breaks everything. Really. So... An example of that could be pretty easy. I could just try to see... yeah. So here you have the fraction, right? So just remove this. Here I can find the fraction, right? Say I just go to that fraction, and so instead of having a for loop here, I just take all of that and then bump it down, and instead of k, you go to fraction, right? Because fraction is going to be a way to floor this, or just straight up make it an int. Oh right, this way it's always going to be full, and I never have to convert to floats, which is awesome. This is what I want. You're an int. Thank you so much. Okay, well, for now. So yeah, let's try this. I think it's gonna kind of fail, but okay. What does it do? I mean, that's pretty much what I was expecting. So again, oh, they all go there. Wait, that is a problem. That is, no, okay, this line here is not what I was expecting. So this is cool, but this is going to multiple things, right? You should here be row times row count. J divided by the, oh no, J, okay, yeah, the multiplication happens first. So it's this, all of that divided by row count. Right. So if I do this, it should fix what I just, the bug we just saw. It's still going to be broken, okay? It's still not what I want, but it's much better here, as you can see. The problem is really when you start from a row with, n1 point to a second row of n2 nodes, and the n2 is bigger than n1, right? So here you have only one node, here you have two. It only makes a path to a single one of them. That's what the formula does right now. See? So it's like, it just makes it so that some paths are not accessible, unfortunately. Like, it looks good, but it's not what I'm trying to do. So how do I take into account that I could have multiple ones? Wait, so this divided by row count, right? J divided by row count. What it does, basically, it's saying, hey, the current node that I'm at, current node, which fraction of its row is it, right? And then, since we multiply that by the amount in the next row, it helps us see what fraction of the next row it is, right? Basically. So if you're a third of your row, you should go to, the third, 1/3 of the nodes in the next row. I would like to see an example just to make sure of multiple things. Yeah. So they connect correctly, and there it connects and everything. It's really just going to multiple things. The problem is, this one is its full row, right? So it goes to what? The full other row? Not really, right? That's not really what it does. And how do you know that it has to do multiple ones, for example? So the thing is, when I'm comparing rows, I'm trying to create paths, not just going from somewhere to somewhere else, right? If I'm just trying to draw it, maybe I could use my current algorithm, but what I do is P1, instead of always being the bottom row, well, not just P1, but like, basically I could just compare, that's a good question. Yeah, so, wait, yeah, I think I got it. Because basically, everything works here, right? Upwards of the second row. Only the first row to the second row is broken. But if I use the same algorithm, and I go from the second row to the first row, it wouldn't be broken. It would do the same thing as the third row to the fourth row, right? We would see the same thing happen. So maybe my algorithm works, but only if I go from the row with the more nodes to the row with the less nodes, right? So what if instead of just doing P1, because I'm doing P1 and P2 in the same place, So what if the for loop here is not always going iterating through the current row, and what if it sometimes will iterate through the next row instead, when the next row has more nodes than the current row, right? How exactly do I do this? Do I just do it? Yeah, I'm just gonna do it very, very simply. Is row count. But which one is P1 and which one do I refraction now? Yeah, I'm just gonna do a big if. It's just gonna be much simpler. So if row count is greater than next row count, I'm gonna do what I was already doing right here. And here I'm gonna have an else. And then the next I'm gonna do here, and it's gonna be next row count, because this one is bigger here, and I'm gonna iterate through I plus 1, okay, and here's gonna be I2 frac, and it's gonna be next row count here and row count here. So I'm just like inverting all of the things. Well, like this, I guess. Yeah, I'm making the points and everything and stuff. I'm just gonna put things together, maybe format the code more interestingly, and it should work, I think. Oh, if I want to keep it like that, I could say it's P2, P1, you know, so it could still go from the lower row to the next row. Is just, you know, I calculated the other way around here. I really think it's gonna work now. I hope it does. Okay, so stop this, restart it, come on. Oh, okay, maybe, that's close. Right, no, so it works, kind of. So it makes a functional pathing thing. But now, it does that weird thing here. But what I'm seeing here is that I use this to go there, but like this node here, it goes to, I feel like I could almost take this node and revert the thing, right? For it. So, why is it like this? Because what I'm thinking is, so okay, look, here, when I have like this inverted the other way around, I treat it as being like, well, so let's say I just copy paste it, right? Control C, just a new layer, and the new layer I'm just gonna flip vertical, okay? So yeah, I don't really know, like, what if I just go like, no, I just want to resize the image, maybe make it a little more height, like 150 or something, 140 maybe, and I do not want to change the thing. No, I didn't want to. How do I change this? So not image, but just canvas size. Yes, that's right. So height is going to be 140 or something. And now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to, take this, put it like there or something. Put it like there, I said. Like here, right? And now I can just go with this and like this and like this or something and like this. Okay? So this here, right here, I made it become this, right? Or it's kind of the other way around. This one, because my algorithm failed to use it correctly, I kind of treated it as this to make the algorithm correct. But now, if I take this, okay, just this one, right? Control C, in new layer, Control V right here. Just put it there. I don't care about the problems, the thing here. Just remove it. Thank you very much. So here, what if, you know, so it's actually the other way around. So what I did was, right, I'm gonna make it even a new layer. I'm gonna flip horizontal and just move it there. So when I was faced with this, I reverted it to treat it like this. Okay, but if you just make a local zone of those two nodes and this one, you end up with this, right? Which the algorithm is bad to make. So what if I could somehow target this local zone and make it like this? Kind of, I'm just flip-flopping, right? So I'm taking like this, reverting it like this to calculate it correctly, but then taking the middle zone, which is this, and reverting it like this to calculate it correctly. Right? What if I did that? And in fact, now that I'm thinking about it, before I reverted the thing, it never happened that a node would be incorrect, right? It would never happen that I would incorrectly calculate a certain node. But I would miss some of them. What if I can make the algorithm to, instead of just doing something in one case and something else in the other, it kind of just checks from both sides, you know, where they would go. The thing is that it doesn't iterate through the same thing, interestingly. But what if, it's a good question. Okay, because, well, I'm going to show you what I mean, basically. Here, look, I removed the if, the else. I'm just going to go through both blocks of text. There's going to be duplicates right now, very unoptimized, but just want to make sure that it does cover my bases. And I think it will. Oh, why are you not listening anymore? Yes. Okay, thank you so much. So here it works. If I run it again, and I really think it's gonna work every time. Yeah, see, that's perfect. Yo, that's so good. That's great. It is weird because it is rendering more lines than it should, right? But overall, it does render the lines correctly. So what I really probably, okay, this one happens a lot. So what I really need to happen, I think, is how do I say this? I'm just gonna like memorize where I've added the lines from this and then make sure that they don't exist when I'm rendering here, right? Or maybe, oh, that's good. That's really good. Right, yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm gonna be doing something very simple. First off, I don't need these anymore. They're useless. So here, I do detect, whoops, Control Z, this. Okay. So instead of actually drawing lines and like, making new instances of some things, I'm just gonna make something quite simple. Each node is going to right, so I'm gonna make, okay, yeah. Oh, but the nodes in this case are like a thing. So I guess I just create a new array. So I'm just gonna make a bool array, which is gonna be, it's a good question. Bool double array, I think. Which size is gonna be row count and next row count, which is going to be equal to, which is going to be paths, or valid paths, I guess. And it's going to be equal to nothing or something. Okay. I'm going to assign the thing when I create it. So it's going to be a new Boolean thing. Okay, that's probably a C# thing. C#, create new 2D array fixed size or something. Okay, nice. Right? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Right. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's been a long time since I... Oh. No? Right. Oh, that's so cool. Wow. Yeah, C# is a nice language. I'm just not very used to using it, but hey. I mean, I did at some point, but it's been a while. So I'm like relearning it. It's pretty cool. Okay. So now I'm just making an array where I'm gonna assign paths. When they are valid, I'm just gonna set, at a certain position. I'm gonna set, yeah, there's a path there, just some adjacency matrix, kind of. And once I've done that, what I'll be able to do is simply create the line renderers. So instead of duplicating that code, kind of useless. Okay, that's long. Oh, there's already an I. Well, I'm actually gonna be... Oh, I see. Well, that's fine. Zero as long as... No, come on. As long as k is smaller than next row count plus k, and then no, I'm gonna say it's an if actually. So if valid paths at at this position right here, which is gonna be a jk. Just kidding, lol. If valid paths at that position, right, like this. Oh, I love this song. Okay, so if the paths are valid here, I'm gonna do the whole thing. Yeah, I think that's good. And here, yeah, I'm gonna be doing something. I'm just gonna be calculating the frac, and that's it, right? I don't need the points here. So I'm calculating the fraction, and so I can go, yeah, valid paths at at j frac is true, and here it will be the opposite, which is at frac nj, right? Because we're calculating for this one, we're iterating through our current row and seeing, oh, where do you go? So from the current row, you go there. That's true. And we're doing the opposite here. We're, seeing where we are going, and seeing, oh, do I come from there or not? Yes, sure. So from seeing everywhere we can go and come from, it's gonna make sure that we're not missing any index for any row we can go to. So that goes together with that. So that's just the whole creating those. And then once I'm done, I can just iterate through and check if there's a valid path here. If there is, no matter how many times I said it was valid, if I say it's valid, I just create one and exactly one line. So it should correctly create my thing like here, and it should not make duplicate lines, I think. Okay, I think it works. Sure seems to work. Yo, that's awesome. Cool, yo, perfect. I still don't know what's up with the analytics SDK error that I'm getting, but my paths are cool. That's great. Okay. It took some time, but, I'm glad. It's working pretty well. Awesome. Okay, so now that we have cool paths that are very valid and everything, I would like to... Okay, so technically, right now, what I should be doing... Okay, I don't need all of these. Just bye-bye. Okay, so here, technically, what I'm gonna need to do is Because the thing is, I'm saving these valid paths only for a little bit, right? Because it's gonna be like it's created here right now, and right here, boom, it stops existing, right? By the way, can I just do bool like this? Oh yeah, so it's on the stack and not the heap, no? No, I can't. Okay, that doesn't matter, it's not C++. I'm not gonna act like I know how to optimize everything in C#. I'll research that once I'm working on a real game in Unity, if I ever do so. I mean, I might. If this prototype here goes well, I'm probably gonna want to see it through to the end. Maybe not right away, but you know, at some point in the somewhat near future, I would say. But anyways, it's gonna take a little bit of time to get this prototype going. Anyways, so let's just focus on that for now. Yeah. So here, it's real cool to say where you can go and where you can't, etc. But this is being lost as soon as we, go for the next row in the loop. I'm just losing all of that. But those, I should probably be saving in the nodes themselves, right? So because here it's a bunch of game objects, while maybe all I'm gonna want is to save the nodes themselves, the node scripts, or not. Maybe I just fetch the script every time I use them. But get component, I think, iterates through the list of components. So if my nodes start having a lot of components, it's gonna be a pain to always go get the script every time I want to use it. But for now, I think it's fine, and I think that I'm going to be adding a list of booleans to this one of a size of max columns. So it's going to be public, because I'm going to want to be using it in the node here. So here I'm going to have a bool array. Can I say the size already, or? Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's when I instantiate it, and it's gonna be valid paths. Well, is this what I want? Do I want it to not have access to the next node? I mean, I just need to know where it goes. I don't really need like a real pointer to the next node, So I think it's fine. Plus a boolean doesn't take much space in the memory, because I don't see how the nodes would truly interact between them. I just think it's useful when you check a node, the map could just say, hey node, where do you go? And then the map knows all the nodes anyway, so it can just go fetch the other node itself. I think it's gonna be faster, maybe? Not sure. Well, it's gonna take less memory, I think, at least. It might not be faster. So I'm doing this, and valid paths is a new bool, and instead of being I, it's gonna be for max. It's gonna be map dot max columns. Right. Good. And I'm gonna want to add a new public method, which is going to be a public void set a valid path at, yeah, also it's going to be I, yeah, this is going to be an int. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna make a quick check already just to make sure that it's fine. Yeah, I don't like that it's spaces. I like when it's tabs, like actual tabulations for this, and I like when the parentheses is next to it, just like methods. I probably will at some point change my project settings, or maybe just my general setup here. So if I is bigger or equal to 0 and n it is smaller than map.max columns, then at this point it's a valid path. Okay, that is very cool. Now, how do I create intelligent paths using that? So instead of creating this, I should be able to do something else. Like I'm calculating a fraction. So from j, it means that nodes at position j dot get component. No, dot. Sorry, it's ij. Right. Dot get component for a node, right? Dot set valid path, and the valid path goes to frac. That's what it does. Okay? Yeah, that's what it means here. So I don't care about these, and I don't care about this. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Calculating where it should go, and here. Here I'm going to do something similar, but the difference is j is going to be frac. So you determine which node you go from, and you go to the current one being iterated upon in this loop. And now that I've set all of these, but here, yeah, I get the component every time. I think it's kind of redundant, but if get component slows me down too much, because I'm gonna have to use it even later too, like here. So yeah. Okay, so if this node right here dot val, oof. I don't know, something like that, like get and set. Set is like this, I guess. Alright, that's weird, because it's, yeah. How do I make a property that's an array? I don't know how to do that. That's weird. Oh, it's true. All of these are like this. Yeah, that's a bull. Okay, nice. Node dot get valid path at position K or something like this. Okay, I think it works now, and what's cool about it is that if it truly works, it means that even after I've generated the map, like, it's cool to show the line that are rendered, but now I'm even gonna like actually know if I can go to a node or not. So this way, depending on where my character is, I will be able to know if, you know, I can go or not. What's a null reference? Really? Because valid path is a new bool of a certain size. Oh, this one is not. Right? Is that what you're saying? Public static read-only int. Yeah, it should be fine. Yes. What line was it? Line 28. Valid path at a certain position. But I did make a new bool. I think we can agree with this. Start. Do they just not stop at breakpoints? Nope, they don't. Or I'll try attached unity, maybe? Oh man, that's unfortunate. Okay. Debug .log, and I'm gonna want to do something. You can just so start for node plus I. Now you're not ambiguous. Okay, let's try this. Oh, wow. No, I'm not gonna. It's fine. I'll just debug log. Okay, okay. What does it do now? Come on. Okay, so here I do have a bunch of things. Oh, really? Set valid path for node 0. Really? And then start for node 0 later on. That's crazy to me. How? How do you not get the start first? So it really is happening first. Set valid path. Really? Yeah, what are the references? They're both here. But yeah, here, when I instantiate, don't they happen? Like I'm literally instantiating the thing. Like it's real, it exists. What if it's that simple? Because maybe it's when you get the component, right? When you fetch it. Maybe that's when it starts, because it was unprompted before. Like literally nothing about it happened. Like now I'm logging though, so I don't know. But still, maybe because it wasn't used in any capacity, nothing happened. But now that I'm getting the component for real, when I was setting a valid path, and maybe instead of start it's gonna be awake or something. Maybe start only happens at the start of a scene, for example. So anything created after, it doesn't go through that. It's possible. But, you know, I'm treating it as a constructor. So it's kind of weird that, you know. Okay. So now, what happens? No, it still doesn't work. I'm looking for when the start method is called, because it's very weird that I can instantiate nodes for real, like they are in the scene, but somehow, like, I don't know. Oh my gosh, I think I know. Oh my god, I feel stupid now. I don't even need to check. You know why? Because I'm creating all of these, right? Creating all of those instances. But their start method is not called until this start is, you know, finished. But then, oh boom, what a genius. I'm calling display pass immediately. So display pass should probably happen in or, you know, I'm trying to, yeah, so I'm gonna make a, I say it's public, but I think it's actually private to start. I don't know. Yes, of course. Private, please. Void awake. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna call display paths in awake. Okay, now I think it's gonna work. Because awake happens after the start method. Or does it? With null reference. Object reference not set. Map.display paths. At line 44. What is not an object? Nodes? Nodes is not an object. In awake. This is being loaded? Oh, it's the other way around. Awake is before start. So never mind. This is going to be my start method. So this is when the scene starts. But as soon as you're awake, I want you to create new instances. Awake. Or, hey, you know what? No, I think all of that is useless. I think I can just call it in the start method, like I used to do, you know. But, and this is a very important but, here, it's awake, not start, because I'm instantiating stuff, right? And not instantiating, but I mean, like, I'm literally just adding default values to variables. So here, do you add default values to any variables? Like, this could go in awake too, right? Here, because you instantiate, I think it's better in the start. Like, a real, like, you know, mono behavior instantiate. Oh, but you are creating a list. No, I'll leave it here, but yeah, okay. Does that work now? Is this a better order for my things to happen? Okay, so you stop, you start again. And now it works! That's amazing! Nice! Yeah, so that was just it. I had to synchronize my scripts correctly. Yo, that's cool! Looks like some kind of a ladybug. That's very pointy, but a ladybug nonetheless. Okay. Cool. That's very nice. Okay, so it took longer than I thought, but here it's very nice because I can make a real map with real things. I can click on a bunch of nodes, and I can, you know where I'm at. Right here. Not know where I'm at, but know where I can go from any node. Now I will make sure that I know where I'm at. That is to say, I'm gonna keep a position, player position on the map. Okay, so here is the next logical thing. Private player position or something. So, well, no. So it's actually a well, it's probably like a vector2, I guess, of position, and the vector2 is actually just meant to represent like a position in the in this array, basically. So vector2, which is going to be player position, player pose, and yeah, I can actually just add an awake, private void awake. Thank you so much. So this is going to be player pose equal, but it's not transform.position at all. Never mind. IntelliSense, what have you done? So new vector2, which is going to be 0, 0. Thank you so much. So it's probably a default, but I'm just going to precise it. Now the thing, oh, it's floats, right? No, I want an int, like an int pair. Do you have like a pair thing? Not a key value pair either, just a pair, or like a int vector. No, you know what? I'm gonna go vector2. It's fine. Oh, but that's kind of annoying. If I go here, well, this is display paths, but right. You know how nodes, they have like an int that is an I? Yeah. This I should probably be like IJ or something like that. It's or like an XY or something. They should know, right? How do you... I think I'm just gonna make a struct in map or something. Maybe even a new file or something. I don't know. But I just want a struct, right? I'll just make it here. I don't care. It's gonna be a public struct, and it's very, very, very simple. I just want, you know, int x, int y, and that's it. Why are it like this? Oh, because I didn't name it. It's gonna be a map pose. Something like x and y, or 0, 0. New map pose like this, with like x equal this and y equal this, or I'm trying stuff. No, that's not how it goes. Okay, so I'll probably need some kind of constructor or something. Okay, I'm just gonna maybe it's just gonna be pose or something. It's just gonna be a pose. Because I think it's going to be map.pose, but dot pose for the rest. X, which is going to be a get set or something. Which is going to be get set. Right, like this. Okay, sure. Oh, cool. Yo, that's hot. I like that. I can just put default values, right? I just know that these exist, but I've almost never used properties. Well, like, created new properties. So if I do this and I just go player pose.x, yes, they're private right now. They should be public. So if I go debug log, so I don't know, like player pose plus player pose.x plus player pose dot well dot y. Okay, yeah, it seems to work. Okay, let's go. Come on, I'm ready. And it should print 0, 0 by default. Yes, it does. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna remove the rest of the print statements in Node, yeah, because they are ruining my life. No, not this one. This one, yes, though. Thank you so much. Okay, and now I'm gonna test something out, which is here I say equals 0. What if I say no? By default, I want to be on the last row. So the last row would be 5, right? Or 4 actually. So 4 and 0. So actually, I start at the top of the tree, the quote-unquote tree, right? So in the map, I would start at the very bottom, right? But now I'm saying, no, I want to start up there. Okay? So if I go here, 0, 4, that's awesome. That's awesome. So it works very well. So I'm gonna say 0, 0, that's great. So it's the start pose of the player. And they start at 0, 0 by default, which is great. And can I set them? Yes. So I will say set, no, just public set pose. Right. And you're gonna have int x, int y, and I'm just gonna say x equal x and y equals y. Thank you so much. Why can't you be called set? Method must have return type. You are absolutely right. It's a void method. Thank you so much. So I can just set it, right? Which is gonna set both of these at the same time, and I can probably get, right? Which is gonna return itself. Nah, that's ridiculous. I'm not gonna put a get, just a set. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But because it's a map pose, I can probably in the set check, right? And even in a get set, in the set here, I can probably precise something. So if value is bigger or equal to 0, and that value is smaller than columns, then I guess nodes at position. No, it doesn't work. So it's just gonna be the max columns. I don't need that. I don't need checks. This is just a prototype. It doesn't work anyways, because max columns is not always going to be the actual maximum of anything. You stopped again. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. I just, whatever. I can just set values and it's great. Okay. Now, every node, instead of having a private int, it's gonna have a private map.pose. Yeah, that's cool. See, I like that. Which is gonna be called pose, right? And now pose will be equal to, right, big I and everything. Yeah, instead of that, I'm just gonna give it a real position. So it's, I don't care about the static big I and plus plus and everything, it doesn't matter. Pose will be equal to new pose, new map.pose. Okay, so now, yeah, well, when I say on the node, it can be. Is there a way to? Okay, I'll check something. How do I say C#? Change class print value, I guess. default custom class output. Yeah, that's good, that's good. Right, okay, that's good. So it's pretty much exactly like in Java. You just change the toString method. That's pretty good. So if I just change that, I can return whatever I want. So I'm gonna actually add that to my beautiful structure here, which is actually a class and not a struct, but it's great because I don't know if structs inherit from object. Well, I do know classes do. So return, and I'm just gonna do my own thing. So return, which is gonna be X. Well, it's a big X, so boom. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this actually. This plus. Okay. I have no idea what this is. Literally no idea. But I'll trust you. You seem to know what you're doing. Kind of. So here, what I'm gonna print is actually a pose, right? Your position. So clicked on that node, which is great. So what I can do is, yeah, like here, I can just do plus player pose, right? It should print it. Yeah, nice. And now, when I set a node, I'm creating a node, right? Instantiating it, right? So, let's not add. You know, I'm actually gonna go with game object node equals not new game object, but it's actually gonna be this one here. Yup, right there. So I'm just gonna create a game object out of it, instantiate, and I'm gonna instantiate this at this position. Right, that's a long position. At this position, oh yeah, it's great. Formatted perfectly and everything. Wow, you gotta love this. Oh my god. Yo, that's awesome. Yeah, I want to do it like this. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna add the node, right? Okay, but now if I instantiate the node, right, I can say node dot get component again, which is the node. I feel like I should just get the node, but you know, dot. Yeah, so the position, I'm gonna make it public. I just want to be able to get set. Node dot pose will be equal to no dot set. So I'm gonna set it to the I and to nodes at position I dot count, which is the current count. Or is it? Oh, okay. Dot. Okay. Yeah, let's just do dot count. Alright, let's just do dot count. And this way I can see if it works, because count, I don't know if it works or not. I hope it does. And then I add the node to the, you know, the array of nodes and everything. So I instantiate it, I get the component, and I set it correctly. Okay, that's perfect. I love this. Oh yeah, like this. Right? Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna do the same for you. Right here. Right? Like, oh right, because like this, yeah, yeah, and like this. Great, that's awesome. Oh yeah.
Hey, need to drop that beat, yo.
So good. Okay. Now that I'm doing this, yeah, it's cute formatting. Okay, so now that I'm doing this, I'm gonna want. Yo, it slaps. I'm sorry, I really like this song. Uh, Alright, I'm probably gonna be ending the stream soon, but I do want to finish what I'm doing right now, right? At least the position being okay, and having like a method for node, like a thing where you click on a node, it says if you can go there or not, something along those lines, would be really nice. That's great. Yeah, what's up with that? Like, what is this? You're ridiculous. Okay, so great map. Oh, yeah, go back to the code. I don't know why they said this. I just want a comma and a space. Like, that's all I want. Just a quick comma and a space.
Hey, need to drop that beat, yo.
Okay. And now, yeah, that's good. Player pose at 0-0. That's great. That's as it should be. And now, if I had to just click on these. Click on these suckers. Okay, so if I click here, it's 1-0, and this is 1-1. This is 2-0. This is 2-1, 2-2, 3-0, 3-1, and 4-0 at 0-0. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Hey, need to drop that beat, yo.
Okay. So now when I click on a node, what I'm actually going to do is map.move. Okay? Yeah, it's going to be a move thing, right? So it's going to be public because it's going to be called. So it's. Oh yeah, so the private methods and everything, it can just be there. Who cares? Here, that's the interface, baby. Well, all of the variables are private, almost. Well, it's fine. I don't mind. Variables first. So here I'm gonna go with public void move. Not unanimator move, just literally move. Right? I just want move. Or just move player or something. But move, yeah, move player. Right? And here you're gonna have a pose, which is gonna be pose. Right? Or new pose, or you know. What I'm gonna do is a bunch of checks. So first off, if position has to be valid, but you know, let's just say it's valid by default. So if pose dot y -1 equals player pose dot y. Okay, no, sorry, I'm not gonna do the -1. I'm gonna do the +1. It just feels wrong to do the -1. So if the pose I'm trying to go to is actually the next row from the player, that is valid. It could be valid. So now I'm gonna do end and end. Okay, so if you do this and it's valid, you also need it to be valid to be a so nodes at position player right, player pose dot x and then even player pose dot y. So it's actually y first and then x second, so x, right? Yeah, but I'm going like its axis. So instead of X and Y, this, I'm gonna refactor. Just rename. Yeah, it's gonna be called row, right? That's it. Just row. It should work. Rename is gonna be col, right? Columns and rows. X and Y, yeah, it's gonna be col and a row. No, it's the other way around. I want it to be a row and to be columns. Okay, but columns will be equal to columns and rows will be equal to rows, right? Okay, that's pretty good. So yeah, I'm just, refactoring a little bit so that it's clearer. So it's row columns, row first, column second. Because I went X and Y, so usually it's X first and Y second. But since I want to go with the row first and the column second, like it's kind of opposite of the thing. So columns and rows, I actually want rows and columns. See, like everything is like reverted, so inverted. Everything was inverted, so it looked good, but it was just inverted in memory and then inverted when printed out. So it looked good, wasn't. It was opposite of what I needed it to be. Row column, yeah, that's good. If they are one row higher, if the new pose is one row higher, then so if the player is one row higher than the player pose, and also that the node at row and column of the player dot get gosh, I'm really gonna make them nodes soon because get valid path at not I but at pose, new pose, right? It's pose. Right, at pose dot x, no, dot column. Okay, so the column is valid, and that's good, right? Right here. Dot get component or something. Yeah, well, so. Okay, I really need to go to the bathroom real quick, but I'm gonna come back. I'm probably gonna finish in like 23 minutes, which would be on the top of the hour. So yeah, so I'm gonna be back in like 2 minutes probably, something very short. So I'm gonna put you guys on hold, on pause here. Music is gonna keep going. I'm just gonna mute my mic and I'm gonna be going in the next room to the bathroom. So see you in like 2 minutes, guys, very shortly. Hey, I am back. Welcome back to the stream. Took me a little bit longer than I thought, so I'm back. When I say I'm gonna finish at about 5, I might not finish at 5 o'clock, maybe a little later actually. I don't know, I'm having fun and I really want to finish that thing, and I would like to make it a visual thing, right? Hey, it's a stream of the week, come on, we want to see visually what's changed, right? So I'm gonna be doing something about that. Now, I'm gonna finish the move player method, and once it's done, I'm actually just gonna create a little token, a little entity in the scene that will actually be the player, right? And I'm just gonna make sure that the player pose is used to, like whenever we update the player pose, I'm gonna make sure that we actually move the player to that spot, right? So yeah, that's what I want to do. So right now, and once we're gonna have a little player that can advance in the map visually, right? So it's probably just gonna be a square with a color. Okay, just a little square, and when we click on a valid position, it's gonna move, and then it's gonna move, and move, and it's not gonna be able to go backwards, I think. Yeah, it's not gonna be able to go backwards. Actually, paths are not set up to do that right now anyways, and it's not going to be able to go on the sides or anything like that, or to non-valid paths, like from here to, wait, no, here everything is valid from row to row. So let's just take another example, but like here, it's not going to be able to go from there to like there or anything like that, that's what I want basically. So if all of that is valid, I can now say that my player pose will be equal to pose, okay? So I just make a couple checks, and then I go there, okay? And if it is valid, and there's gonna be an else as well, okay? So here, I'm gonna debug.log, invalid position for player. And here, I'm gonna say valid position, comma, player moved, like so. Yes, okay. Now that I've done this, I'm gonna be real simple about it, and I'm going to, yes, that is quite right. Yeah, I'm gonna try it now, I guess. So if I click here, clicked on the, oh right, the nodes receive the click, but the nodes don't call the move player method for now, but they will, like right now. Map, yeah, they would need a reference to the map, I guess, because it's not a static thing. I mean, I probably would want the map to be a, Yeah. To this a singleton, basically. I think I want the map to be a singleton, but that's private, that's private, that's private. This is the only public. So if I go public static void, and then you're gonna say, yeah, but it doesn't, it has no. To that I say, sure. But I'm going to have a private, right? It's such a good song. It's gonna be a private static map instance. You know me. You know how it is. Okay. Else, I'm just making a quick singleton, else I'm gonna destroy game object. So game object with the minuscule here is just like, you know, the object's own game object, basically. Not the object, I mean the script here, right? The map.cs, you know, the map, its game object is game object, you know. So if the instance, which is a static thing, okay, so it's a static reference to its own class, right? An instance of its own class is saved as a static instance, which means that every single map object is going to be referencing the same pointer to a map object here, using instance. So here, I'm just making sure that when I awake, it doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, hey, I'm the instance now. I am the one and only map. If it does exist though, ooh, I'm gonna destroy myself. I cannot be a map, right? There's already a map. One map at a time. That's the singleton pattern. So now how can I use this? Well, it's a static method. So how do I access things and stuff? Well, I can just go instance dot, right? Because instance is a map. So yeah, that map, yeah, it's player pose. Just like this. So it does make methods a little longer, but it's fine because they're static. So it's really cool. This way I don't need a reference here, right? All I can do is, oh, when I click somewhere, well, on yourself in fact, I can just call map.move, move player. And where do I move it? To its own position, here. Thank you very much. So it should work. Yeah, I think it should work now. Okay. So please, please, please. Instance does. Oh, is it undefined? Is it kind of like in the... Well, look. Instance here? Yeah, it's gonna be null. Thank you very much. Right? So here, if you're not equal to null... Oh no, if you're equal to null, I'm sorry, that's the problem. I don't need to set it to null. It's null by default. Yeah, I thought it was weird too. Yeah, if it is equal to null, so if there are no instance, you're the instance. Otherwise, so if there is so if it's not equal to null, basically, it means it exists, so I am destroying myself. Cool, okay. So yeah, I did the opposite of the singleton pattern. It was the nothing pattern. So if you already have one, you can create more, but otherwise, nope. You know, that was weird. Invalid position for player. Nice. Invalid, 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 right? Now if I go here, I can go, right? Valid position, player moved. Nice. Here, invalid. Here it's invalid, invalid. And this should be invalid. And this is invalid. And this is invalid. But here, I can go. valid position, player moved. So invalid, 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 yes. And this one is invalid, yes. Oh, actually myself, yeah, invalid too. But I can go there. Nice, and I can go there. Yeah, valid. And the rest is all invalid. Everything's invalid now, I cannot move anymore. This is perfect, okay? So it means that it works as intended. So now, the only thing that I'm gonna be needing more is just to, you know, see it, right? It's not very visual now, is it? So, yeah, if I do create empty as Control-Shift-N. Okay, Control-Shift-N, nice. So here, I'm gonna be calling it, I don't know, player token or something, just player. This is the player, okay? I'm gonna reset its space, right? So I'm gonna add a component, which is gonna be a sprite renderer. Right, thank you so much. The sprite is gonna be the default one, right? The new default sprite, yeah, that's the one. And I'm gonna flip anything. I'm gonna change the color though. I want it to be a little like light pink or something, with a bit of brown in it, or like a peachy color, right? This is peachy. This is cute. I like that. A little bit more. Nah, I like this. That's great. Okay, that's a cool color. I like that. Okay, so now that we have a player, I'm gonna make it a little smaller. So 0.5, 0.5 or something. Nah, I want to see it correctly. Okay, good. Now, this player, it exists, it has a position in the map. I'm gonna want a player, right? So again, it's gonna be serialized ES private name object, and it's gonna be player. No, not like this. I want to go there. Thank you so much. So here I'm gonna put the player. So you can move the player and everything. So now what we're gonna do here is, well, I'm gonna keep the messages for now, because it might not work at first. So here, when I change the player position, I'm gonna say player.transform .position will be equal to new vec or to something. Why player prefs? I said player.transform .position. It's only get, right? This get set. Okay, will be equal to, and here it's gonna be nodes at position. Oh right, because it's instance dot nodes. Yeah, instance dot. I'm forgetting about this. Okay, so here it's gonna be, I don't know, right here? Yeah, I'm gonna do node, well, maybe not node, but maybe like game object. Node will be equal to, or target node or something. Target node will be equal to, oh, this is the current node. Right, never mind. That transform. That oh, this makes for long lines. This is ridiculous. Dot transform that position. Nice. Okay. It's ridiculous. That's funny though, but Look at this slide. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Oh my god. That's characters. That's cool. Yeah. Well, this goes beyond. But... Where else goes this? I don't know. Okay, good. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so now I am, yeah, just straight up setting the position to something different. So it's just gonna teleport right now. Then I'm probably gonna make a smooth transition or something like that, if that works quickly. Like, if it works right now, I'm just gonna be spending a little bit more time, you know, going a little overboard on time, and just spending the time to probably make an eye enumerator or something like that. In the node, you just move it, or, well, or here, actually, but yeah, just make a enumerator thing and start a coroutine that just moves the player, etc., etc. This is probably what I'm gonna do. But for now, right, so it's not in the correct position when it starts. Yeah, well, when I awake, no, when I start, probably. Before I display the paths, yeah, I'm gonna want the player to be in the correct position. So, not in the instance, just on yourself. Because you're the instance, always. But, you know. But that's the thing, when I use a method, I don't have to access directly instance. So here, if I had, yeah, if I could just set the player position, it would be much better. So if I had, like, I don't know, like a private void set player pose or something like that. With like a pose, like a real, like my struct position, right? So I would probably just take all of that inside of it. And here debug.log, like I don't mind, just go there. Like this. So here instead of instance, you just go like this. Yeah, that's probably what I do. Pose equal pose. Then I just change everything. I remove instance everywhere. Yeah, that's better. Would that go out of screen? I think it would. It would, yeah. Okay, so just keep it like that. Set player pose, which is nice. So look at what I'm going to do now. Now, hey, player moved. Great. So here, I'm going to do instance dot set player pose to, yeah, the required position, and that's it. So I'm doing a quick check, but this check is not going to happen many times, right? Because I want to have a function where I'm not testing the position, because I want to set it when I start the game. So I'm just gonna call set player pose, and I'm gonna put it at 0. New pose. Thank you so much. Just a new pose, right? Or actually, that's gonna be at player pose when I think about it. So third transform. Right. Okay. So now if I test it, the player should start at the right position, which is what I'm hoping for. Nice. So now I can check this out. And if I click somewhere, it's not gonna go, right? So I just go in all of these places, it doesn't. If I do this, it goes there. Now it can't go to any of these, right? But it can go there. And it can go to itself or any of those other places, though it doesn't change anything, but it's still invalid, which is going to be important when after finishing the move, when it's going to be an animation, we're actually going to be entering the level, so, you know. And yeah, I should be able to go anywhere. Yo, that's cool, it works. Awesome. Cool. Okay, so we can advance through the map correctly, which is great. Now, that being said, it doesn't look much like a movement right now. So, set player pose is fine, but what if I want to move the player, truly move the player? Like here, I called it move player, but it's more like a set player pose. Well, no, it is move, because I do want to move it, right? So here I do set the player position, but maybe I shouldn't set the position. Maybe in set player pose, I can add, yeah, I don't know. Or I can just call it check move player, or something like that. And here I can just call it check, not check, just move player. Just move player, and I can just go, here it's gonna be false, and it's gonna be like instant here. Oh, I'm not even gonna call this. Okay, so move player, okay, look at me. So play, and it's gonna be true. What are we calling player pose? What are you talking about? Here it's going to be move player, and the method itself here is going to be actually move player, and here you're going to have a bool, which is going to be, oh, music please, I'm not done. Yeah, I think the playlist is restarting, it's too short, I need more songs. So, and is it random? Yeah, it is. So bool instant, which is going to be false by default, and here it's if instant or something. So okay, first off, I'm going to set the pose of the player to be the new pose, okay? Now, this here is not going to be right, but this right now is going to be a vector 3, okay? Which is going to be new pose, which is going to be this. Not even new pose, but like new position, right? So position are like actual positions, and pose are there. So this one I can call position, just position, it's fine. And here, player.transform position will be equal to position. Okay, so if it is instant, I'm just setting the position straight up. If not, okay, else, I'm going to be starting a coroutine. It's going to be start coroutine, which is going to be like move player, move player enumerator or something. With position. And here I'm gonna have a private I enumerator, which is going to be move player enumerator, and it's going to have a vector3 position, right? Right. So yield return null. This is what happens, right? That's at the end. But here I'm going to do a quick so while I don't know, while player dot transform dot position does not equal at position, I'm gonna yield return new wait for just yield return null, I guess, again. Okay, that's cool. Position will be equal. So, okay, I don't know what the player speed is, but let's just say, no, just flow player speed will be equal to like 1 or something. And then I'm just gonna make a quick formula that calculates the thing. I'm gonna do vector3. Is it vector3? Or is it gonna be a float? Float max distance per iteration will be equal to player, no, will be equal to position minus player position, right? Player pause dot magnitude. No, it doesn't work. No. So player dot transform dot position dot magnitude. Okay. This dot magnitude. All of that divided by player speed. No, it's times player speed. No, so okay, I'm just gonna call it move time or something. And it's not 1. Times however much it's been since the last, you know what I mean? Times delta time times the delta time, the delta time, yeah, exactly. Okay, so that should be the real distance that I can think. So this position will be equal to a lerp between this and position with a max distance per iteration.
Hey, nigga, throw that beat, yo.
Max delta. I'll just call it max delta. It's much easier. Yeah, I think it's better to make it start on the next line when it's going to be doing a thing. This is going to be equal to this. Okay. I think it's gonna move it. Not even sure. Lerp is from A to B, right? So A plus. Okay, yeah, sure. Cool. Right. Times T. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I'm kind of dumb. Well, I guess I can have move time. Or like player speed. I can go back to player speed. Here I'm gonna go vector 3. Which is gonna be initial pose, which is gonna be equal to the player position when I'm starting. Then I'm going to position. So here is just gonna be initial pose and position with not a max delta, but what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna have delta. So it's gonna be a float delta, which is gonna be equal to 0.0 or just 0 at first, right? So delta here it's gonna be like this, okay? And now delta plus equal, right? Or maybe just every time, so yeah, delta plus equal to time dot delta time. So here I'm just making sure that I'm close enough. This dot square root magnitude is close enough to this. Something like that. Yeah, that's weird. Nah, I preferred when it was there. Maybe. Maybe I just start like this and finish there. Maybe that's better. Okay, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Okay, so, what I'm doing in this iEnumerator, okay, you have to understand that yield return null, all it means is, hey, go away from this method, okay, you applied it once, just go away. Next frame, come back and start where you're at, which is why it's in the loop, because I don't want it to just end, I want it to come back at the beginning of the loop, do it again, and then wait for the next frame. So wait for the next frame, wait for the next frame, every time. Here I have a player speed that I'm not using so far, so maybe I should. You know, maybe it's delta times player speed times a player speed. So what I'm doing is I get an initial position, which is where my player is at when I start, and also a position where I'm trying to go. Okay, so I'm trying to see the difference between those positions. Its square magnitude, is it, while it's bigger than any given value, so an epsilon, because it's floating points values, so sometimes it can be a little weird the way it rounds out and everything, and you know, if I'm close enough, I consider that I'm there, okay, because they're floats, again, like I don't care about exact precision. I just want a movement towards, you know, a position. If I get there, that's it. The speed is just a multiplier, like right now it's 1, I could literally just remove it, but if I wanted to make it an attribute of the class or something, it would be easy to do. Now, yeah, so I have 2 positions. Now I check if those positions are close enough every time I start the loop. Now, if so I have a delta, right, when I start the loop. It starts at 0, and I add the delta time every time. Okay, so the delta time is actually a number that represents, well, it's written, the interval in seconds from the last frame to the current one. So how many seconds have passed since last frame, right? And here, what I'm trying to do is just a quick player transform dot position. So the player position is actually going to be equal to a linear lerp is, yeah, linear interpolation. So linear interpolation between 2 points. So between the initial position and the position I want to go at. And the percentage of the way there is delta times player speed. So, you know, this incrementing every time. So the percentage towards position is incrementing, you know, every time with a certain player speed. Okay, and I think it should work like that. Yield return, blah, blah, blah. Eventually it's not going to enter here and it's just going to quit the method. Okay, so start coroutine right here. I think it should work. I think. There might be problems right now if I just, you know, do the coroutine like all in one go. So I'm probably going to save the iEnumerator when it happens and make sure that when a new one is called, I do the new one and not the thing and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, or at least when it's happening, right? When it's not null, I block, right? So I'm going to do something about it eventually. Right now, I just want to test if it works. All compiler errors. No! Move player, why doesn't it work? Inaccessible due to its protection level. Oh, here it's check move player. Thank you so much. Come on. I would like to finish the stream soon, but it needs to work. This thing, the last final thing, needs to work. Oh, okay. Wait, did it work? Oh, something's weird here. Woo! Woo! So cool! It moves! Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna restart the music here. I think I'm just gonna be testing it in a couple scenarios here, my player. And once I'm done, that's so cool. Yay! And I cannot go back, I can't do things like that. Oh, I could do that, yeah. Yep, that's cool. So it seems to be working quite well. I don't think the speed is great. I think it's kind of slow. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's great. So I'm gonna stop this here. I think it works. I'm just gonna I'm gonna try one last thing. I think it's pretty darn slow. So I'm gonna make the player go 3 times as fast. That might be a bit too fast, but I don't do things halfway. Go hard or go home. I mean, I'm already home, so, but still. Click, clack, clop, click. That's great. Okay, so we have a somewhat functional map. And next time, what we're going to be working on is whenever we click on a node and we finish the little animation towards the node, I'm going to try to make us go to a new scene, right? So we're going to unload the main scene, which I should call the mission map or something like that. And we're going to be loading a campfire place, or we're going to be loading a level where we're going to add a main gameplay loop and stuff like that. We're not going to do all of that next time. We're at least going to do the logic of changing to the next level and coming back to the map level. All of that without losing, the map attributes and whatnot, right? I don't want to like reload the scene as new when I come back to the map, because I don't want the player to be back to the first position and everything. I want the player to be on the position it was at, right? So I'm gonna learn about that, because I have rarely, well, I've done things that change scene, like a main title. When you press play, you start a new scene, which is the game scene, but you don't really have to bring data, right, from one scene to another when you do that. So I'm gonna be working on that next time. Um, yeah, that's pretty cool, the fact that it works. When I say next time, by the way, I really mean on the next stream of the week, right? So if I have time and I feel like doing a stream, like a part 2.1 or something like that, then I'm going to be finding a way to improve what we've got already. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna, I don't know, make the map look better visually. Maybe I'm gonna simply make a player script to manipulate the player more easily, or something along those lines. I'm going to be working on something other, because I don't want to start a new thing, a completely new thing, like a new level and a whole like level transition system. If I'm going to be working on that, I'm going to be starting that on a stream of the week. It's too important to start that on a random stream. So I'm just going to be improving what we've got on screen right now, possibly, for the next time. So a good example of that, if I'm going to be making a stream before the next stream of the week, which is probably going to be next Friday, if I'm going to be doing that, I will be, the nodes here, they're in very fixed position. I would appreciate if they could be in random positions, right? Not completely random, but like have a little bit of variance, right? So the map is a little bit more jagged and everything. It's not so smooth, right? I would like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to be working on next. And yeah, I'm going to say goodbye to you all. And until next time, see ya.